Jump Band Christmas. Story by Russell Helbin and the picture by Lily Hebben. Creators of the Francis Badgers series. Christmas is coming. It was coming fast. If it wasn't coming to the town where the houses are all cozy with windows shoddy with winter dust. It wasn't coming to the country when in the snow laid against the barns and the firewood all stacked besides and the houses are all that are coming to the river and then a little running down the place where the Emmet Otter and his mother lived in the Frogtown Hollow. Christmas is coming and money was the most scared forever. Emmet Otter's father was dead, and the mother took her in a washing. There was no electricity out at the Frogtown Hollow in the Mrs. Otter. Didn't her wash it with the washbird and the wash tub all by hand. Emmet rowed up and down on the river. From Turtle Bay, Osprey Point, to pick up the laundry, and the Moss customers left all of the boats landing on, and he delivered when he was done. Emmet heard the water. There were dandicles in the chores. He counted the wood and stacking it. He went out to the tool chest with the paw left to him, and he did an old jobs or around the neighborhood. Every day he went out fishing. Someday there always something on the table, and to between the two of the Emmet and his mother, the pair went to the scrapping along with the somehow. But there wasn't always hard going to it this year. The harder ever. The clocks and they're having a big old good. Then the swirling down the river. They're having to be slow, and the many animals went out of work. The housewives, who used it to giving to wash it to Mrs. Otter, when you're doing this at times and grown like animals, like Jake Beaver and Grover Muskrat, who be in the law often in meal and with doing most of our job. Emmet used to get any well by the somehow. Emmet and his mother used it to say to each other, when always have, but they're winning tired of the chest, getting by the last year. I give Emmet in his mitten about a kitten. Mrs. Moss said to an Uncle McCoon, and the year before was mittens. Nothing wrong with the mops and mittens. Alice said, Uncle McCoon is a dog in the counts. I know that about that, says Miss Otter, but then it be a stack of the rock and bottoms life, and so long, just wasn't in the least. I didn't like it. Busting out into the wind, glorious Christmas for Emmet. Sometimes it's shiny. This is a bad in the years for that, said Uncle McCoon. It always a bad year, said Alice Otter, and she went to Otter with her washing. Ma has never had it easier, Emmet said to Charlie Beaver. When you never had much, and even when the pa was alive. What with it is him. It be a travel man, always that up and down in the river, selling the snake oil. He will be gone for the weeks of the errand sometimes. And when he didn't show up, and he never brought in much money with him. The ma never in the completed through, and she said, if your pa went to the ticket chance, the snake oil. She was to the wild ticket take a chance on him. I wish and I couldn't fix it. So she didn't have to do any more washing. And if I can do that, at least I didn't like getting to give her once and a very good Christmas. There is no art job this year, said Charlie. I can't even making a nickel, and my sisters. I didn't have any lucky with the Christmas cards or cookies either. Maybe I didn't be in the better the Christmas next year. Some year, it's got to be this year, says Emmet. The last year I made a Ma sewing the box, and the year before carrying in the pipe. Sometimes she could have had something fine and fancy as a cost of money, or I don't know that what I do. Money's harder to come by, said Charlie, and Emmet both Emmet is both in the winter often at chores. Let's see. When the work was finished for the day, Emmet and his mother always went down to the slide into the pond when they built into summer. And when it went to off in the ending of the slide into the river with the big splash into the winter and the sliding down and the sliding across, then the eyes and whoopee laughter. But today they were sliding down in the quicker boat and having a wonderful it was a beat done about Christmas. In England, went to read along to each other with the candle on, and they always did when it wasn't to pay attention to the book. Ma was thinking about present for Emmet, and Emmet was thinking about present for Ma. After we finished reading, Ma and Emmet sang together. They sang down slide and with Dora, swimming in alley home, did a bathing suit with the grandma on the wall, and we go in the fish in the moonlight and end up at the inn of their favorite, then about the downstream of where the river meets the sea. Oops, excuse me. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Mrs. Otter had a lovely voice. Emmet remembered her telling him that she had to play with the piano. When she was a girl, Emmet wondered how many odd jobs would it take to buy. Ma's piano, and he knew it, and then he would have probably never rely on or able to save up that much money. But it's an idea for the piano staying out there in his mind and to keep it growing. Ma is thinking it too that she remembers how Emmet had looking beautiful in a satin. Secondly, her the guitar with a mother pearl inklings and the store in the window into the town. The Ma drew about how many washes that could it take to buy and the guitar for Emmet, and she tried to put it out in her mind, but she could not in the weather to Emmet that I got the guitar for Christmas, and she didn't know what she couldn't about. See what could be. Christmas was 2 weeks after when Ma and Emmet and heard some news. And interesting, both of them Ma heard it from Hitty Muskrat, and Emmet is heard with her Hitty son, Harvey. $50 cash, said Harvey. How's that price? Price of what? Says Emmet. The merchandise are put on the talent show in the Waterville, says Harvey. That kind of the talent? Emmet asked. Anything, says Harvey. Singing, dancing, playing instruments, recital, acrobatic, jungling, everything and all. Have you ever a talent? I don't know, says Emmet. Have you? I got a kazoo, said Harvey. Winnie Pooh knows how to blow at this jug, and Jolly Beaver has a gunagaboch banjo. Could you have what you call a jump band, maybe? When you call it it's a Frogtown Hollow jump band. All we need is the washtub bass. A washtub bass, said Emmet. That's right, said Harvey. You set it up a washtub upside down to stand at the broom harder up into ran and the string at the top at the broom and the handle down with the drill on the little hole and the center at the top. Then you strut it you like it a regular bass like fiddle. And the whole of the center of the top, said Emmet. The trouble is once you make a hole in the top, we wouldn't hold in the water anymore. That's strange. $50 cash, said Harvey Beaver. Sorry. You couldn't buy a lot of a new wash tubs with your share. Emmet thought about it, and for Frogtown Hollow Jump and one is a surprise. He's sharing with a $12.50. With it, I couldn't buy the new wash tub for the $1.50, put in $11 down in the second hand. The piano is paying out the rest. When the talent show, he asking Harvey. 2 days before Christmas, said Harvey. I think about it, said Emmet. He was walking slowly home. While Harvey was telling Emmet about the talent show, Harvey's mother was telling Emmet's mother, I wish there was some talent, Henny Muskrat said. We should have could that money, I guess. We are couldn't, Miss Otter, said, wondering wherever there wouldn't be any good in the singers then in the show. That night at the dinner, Aunt Ma and Emmet couldn't handle look and each other in the eye when you took turns to reading. Then you keep losing a place is to a book. And then gone around the singing to downstream river meets the sea. They both in the junker and the little. Up a little. And next morning after breakfast, the Otter house is empty. Ma is washed up in his not regular place. Into the kitchen and broom, and it was gone. Emmet the tool chest was not in a foot in a bed. They always keep it there was no Emmet's pillow, and there was note in the kitchen table. The note of Emmet's pillow said, Dear Ma, I have not run away. When explaining about the wash tub and the broom, I see you the Christmas Eve on the perfect frozen fish ice box. Love, Emmet. And then the note on the kitchen said, Dear Emmet, I have not run away and explain on the tool chest. I see you the Christmas Eve. There are clean underwear and shirts from you in the drawer. Love, Ma. That day is a few customers. That is a Ma having left putting out in the laundry. There are the landing, there's always did it, but the Emmet did not roll in the body pick it up. In the upriver of the passing point. The wind the rivers a bunch of up into the swampy and there was a little hunt where Emmet and his friends of the builder were from in the clubhouse. In the hunt, Window is cooling is blowing his jug. Harvey Muskrat was playing his kazoo. Jolly Beaver was a pick-up box and banjo. And Emmet straightened up and washed up his face in a worry. Charlie Beaver was singing at the words and to pick up his banjo. Going to the old man, possum shine, Sister Possum is back. But Emmet was singing was under breath. Can you pay there when you maw in the scrub? It can be played the winter, the hollow and tall. You better at it with your beat, Emmet, if you was to keep going to win, said Charlie. Well, the drill and Emmet and his if your jog bands didn't win, maybe and then he mod and just couldn't go away someplace. When the battle was long and he used the tool chest, he couldn't doing all our jobs. They wouldn't get along somehow, but Ma was going to the piano on the lesson to win. Got to win, said Emmet, and was tired to keep in his mind of Sister Possum. Here on. Oh, there we go. While this Frogtown Hello Jump Band is practicing the upriver, Ma was downriver and the eastern at Snappy's house. Into Waterville she was sitting in her friend sewing machine, making herself a dress. A talent show. I don't quite understand. It was in one thing Alice said. It was that you are patting Emmet's tool chest. Some you couldn't buy the dress and monetize. That's right, said Ma. And I'm going to sing with the talent show if I win. It's the $50 and Emmet is going to have the guitar with the mother of pearl earrings. But what do you don't win? Said East. I still got them my wash job, said Ma. When you can't always move on the someplace things that are better. This surely couldn't be much of the worst. I don't know, says Eastern. It sounds mighty clever. Hoped you win. You got to win, said Ma. When the dress is finished, she's practiced her song, and hers is in front of the Eastern mirror, and they're trying too hard not to thinking in the Emmet's tool chest as a small hem. Here you go. The night before Christmas Eve in the town hall in the Waterville was it all lit up for the talent show. They're having a big lots that they're talking about, and then there's just seats and then they're tick along. Be sure that was ready to begin. Backstage to perform, they were getting and get ready and on the jugglings and acrobats to practice and the tricks. Then the musicians turning out the dancers and making last minute of their costumes. Emmet was in the men's dressing room, and Mar was with ladies. Sunday they are not in each other. Emmet and Window and Harvey and Charlie had been practiced hard. When they're going to play to Sister Possum first, then read the downstream blues. When you asking when they occurred, Ma was get ready too. It's so good fashion and her new dress. He was going to sing of when they're fishing and the moonlight and the swimming Nellie home. Everybody in the Frogtown Hollow was nervous. During got to the good band, said Reno Rivercood. I know it sounded very good the last time. He's a practice. Sure we did, said Charlie Beaver. Win, said Harvey Muskrat. You got to win, said Emmet. And Justin, he's over that with a lot of big case of the wheel rolling. With a lot of a musician followed after. Who are you? Said Emmet. Once a musician was Woodchuck and they put in the cover and sat on the drums. But the big drum in was name is Nightmare. Oh boy, went to the river bang, says Woodchuck, Pete, and the squirrel, and Jimmy Possum. Some an electric guitar. And rather the fats and the porcupines and the electric bass. And to the gun and Amacoon, the mice and mouse, and then the echo organ. Harry is the woodchuck. That's me, and on the drum, Mary Jane Jigmonk doing a ruggle in the Fred Rabbit, working on the lights. You might eat it when they got home, says Harvey Muskrat. Too late back now, says Emmet. He's tired to thinking of the plug of the whole the wash tub the way it was, and it is time for the talent show at the begin. The handsome fox, the mayor of the Waterville, there everyone is hoping and to put on the show and asking the audience to give everybody a hand and wish you a Merry Christmas and sat down. The first act is Steve and Santa Rabbit who tap dance. When did the wizard crow on the brown and afraid Richard Mole playing short piano works at the front hands, and the rooster of completed an acrobatic with the twirl about a twirl acted after, and then each of the audience would clap and a little cough a lot. Then the night it came with a river band Nightmare, who was wearing silver string costumes, and they were playing a song called Riverbound Rock. Then while at the play in the color lights, there were designing patterns, not jumping and snorkeling with a lighting up to the walls and ceiling, and the music is roar, catch and rattle the windows all over, and then the Mary Jane jump on with howl and a scream in the microphone. When it doesn't finish, the audience can clap before they live. Doing it to encore, and then doing it from the encore. The river bang of Nightmare was scrapped scored. From the music is roaring, and the lights are flashing, and then doing the windows and rattle again, and the clap, and the finally night down and slide in the fling, inging at the town, and the water had filled in the boat of the big hall with a bottom. Ma, the singing her next, and it was like whisper, it's far away, and that nobody could hear. And when it came in Frog Town Hollow, jump in, and when you Emmet and his Harvey and Window and Jolly went to play their music, it didn't making any more sounds, and then there are crickets and night keepers. Then when you feel it from 4 more acts, somebody is jungling and somebody else with the magic tricks. Their charges are giving $50 cash prize to Riverbend Nightmare, and with everybody wish you everybody else a Merry Christmas, and all went home. Ma in the Frog Town Hall jump in, they left in the street, straight in the street outside in the whole town hall. You did it in my note? Said Ma and to Emmet. No, says Emmet. Do you have mine? No, says Ma. So it explained each other with a bit about all the wash tray and the broom and the tool chest. Then they left the lights in the town on the behind them. They all went down the river and then they're straighting walking down the home at the ice. Well, said Ma, when you took a tool chest, then lost. That's how it goes. That's how it goes, says Emmet. It was going too much of the Christmas for us this year, said Ma. I hope that they're getting out the guitar you like. It wasn't that I was thinking of the piano for you, says Emmet. I guess it probably was said pretty bad, says Ma, but for funny it is, but I don't. I play pretty good. So do I, Emmet. I don't know why, but I do. Harvey Muskrat took his kazoo out of his pocket and then began to play Sister Possum to sell on the walk. That's so nice in tune, says Ma. How does that word go? Jolly and Beaver sang to her, and the Ma was saying, Going through the old man passing around, share your well back. Then all the joy on the course, rolling down the river and rolling like a water. Going there the whole night long and well as a daughter. Let's try the wiffle hall band playing, said Ma. They're passing the dogful bog riverside rest and stopped when in the boat landing. Up above him, as the lights up on the windows, and River couldn't see everyone having a good time. River couldn't hear with the chanting dishes of the sound and glass of sound of laughter. Harvey played this kazoo, Whittle blew this jug, Jolly in the jug of the box banjo, and Emmet screws in the bass. And the mouse sang when it came in a strong sister possum. The music talks off into the cold, clear, and the air of over-frozen river. And for a while, for the forgotten the hard year, then have a poor Christmas. They could looking forever to nobody nervous. The doors of the riverside rest there open, and the frog town and the customers they're listening. You might clear the sound, said Dorothy Frog. As you hear come down to the boat in the landing, that's real down. A home sound. What do you call your group? All right. Ma Otter and the Frog Town Hollow Boy, said Emmet. That's a good name, too, said Dog Bullfrog. How do you like it, a regular riverside rest? It's painting regular when you're playing regular, said Emmet. Sure it is, said Doc. You and the meals at the house. What do you think, boys? Says Ma. What do you think in that? Said boys. Well, so I. What do I? Said Ma. Why not starting tonight? Then says Dog Bullfrog. After your some dinner. So when you're inside the dog and in a good dinner, and then when your band playing, the Ma sang until it was very late. And when you left from home and to have money then in the pockets. Well, said Ma, Emmet and to Ma, it looks like a wooden hat to plug on a wash tub. And wouldn't have you buy any with new and in either. There's still I got to clear clothes just to wear, said Ma. What I'm going to wash them from Emmet now when you going to set in the other laundry out, said Emmet. Ma was quiet a few moments. Then she said, I think it'll do your songs for Pa, right here, right now. He was waiting the chance to stay quiet on. You gonna said out of wash job. He proud of us. So Ma and the Frog Town Hollow Boy stopped during the icy at 3 o'clock in the morning after Christmas and evening, and when they're downstream the river meets the sea for Pa. Happy ending story, guys. And that's a watch.